Good morning, church. This week I was blow drying my hair, and all of a sudden, it exploded, and I thought I was going to burn my hair off. And it just affected me. Oh, not now, not this. We're all going through a lot of loss right now. Small things, big things. We're going through a grief of sorts. Loss of freedom, of fun, of school, of vacation, of graduation, a job, normalcy, connections. I'm grieving not being able to go to the Philippines on a missions trip. I'm grieving not being able to go to Poland to see youth who I worked with for many years. And we're grieving not only individually, but as a nation, as a world. Shared grief. We're all going through the stages of grief. Denial. No, this can't be happening. Anger. How can this be happening? Bargaining. Well, I'll just go to the parking lot and sit with my car and talk through the windows. Sadness. It comes in waves, doesn't it? And finally, acceptance, fifth stage. Managing it, washing our hands more, making new schedules. We don't go through all of the stages, or even in the order that, they're listed, but we do go through them, and we're not alone in our feelings. Jesus went through grief too. The shortest verse in the Bible, do you know what it is? John 11:35. Jesus wept. Two powerful, simple, insightful truths about our God. He wept after seeing Lazarus' sisters and the mourners. And he knew what he was going to do. He knew he was going to come to raise him from the dead. So he could have just come and said, hey, guys, no worries. I got this. But he didn't. He wept. One translation says, deeply moved in spirit, deeply moved within, he wept. Why? Because he's compassionate. He's sympathetic to our grief, to our loss. He understands our pain. And he wept over the result of sin that caused Lazarus' death and that he would soon be dying for on the cross. This story shows us about God's view of suffering and death. It pains him deeply. It pains him within. But just as he was about to do a miracle at the tomb, we can also trust that something good, something righteous, something glorious will come through whatever hard times come our way. There's a common saying, if we can manage it, name it, we can manage it. So even while we're grieving all of the loss in our lives right now, it's important to acknowledge the grief we're feeling and then to work to manage it by understanding the stages we're going through of grief. And finally, to find meaning in it. So today, my friends, know that you are not alone in your grief. We're together in this, and Jesus is with us in this. He feels deeply. Tonight is Good Friday, a chance to remember and celebrate his death for us, and later, the resurrection on Sunday. So I'll see you at 6 p.m. on the live stream. And note to self, always have a spare hairdryer at home.